To protect my childhood friend from bullying, I resolutely decided to transfer to a rundown high school. Little did I know. On the eve of my departure, I stumbled upon her throwing a victory party. Lena sneered publicly. Playing the victim was exhausting. Finally got rid of that dog, like Harry. The mocking laughter inside the private room was deafening. Her best friend giggled uncontrollably. You pretended to be bullied all this time just to get rid of him. Lena's voice was as cold as ice. If I didn't act miserable enough, how could I make him leave my life for good? Her face was filled with utter contempt. I was sick of him always clinging to me. Outside the door, I froze in place, struck as if by lightning. For the past month, I'd risked everything to protect her. When ice water was thrown at her, she trembled in my arms, crying, Harry scares me. Wherever you go, I'll go. 14 years of friendship tore at my heart. I promised on the spot, don't be afraid. Wherever you go, I'll follow. And what was the result? All of this was a cheap act she orchestrated herself to drive me away. The laughter inside the private room continued. Samano asked, Harry's so devoted to you. Aren't you afraid he'll fall for someone else after transferring schools? Lena reacted as if hearing an absurd joke. Him, not even a farm animal, is this clingy. Immediately after, that laughter felt like a slap across my face. Some marveled at her ruthlessness, but Lena just clicked her tongue in annoyance. Harry's too stubborn. I had to do this to get rid of him. The moment she finished, her tone softened abruptly. Besides, Michael feels inferior around Harry. Only with me by his side will he feel better. So all that self-sacrifice was just to make room for her new lover. Michael had only been at the new school a week when Lena staged this bullying drama. Standing outside the door, my heart plummeted into an abyss, suffocating me. I wanted to storm in and confront her, but suddenly remembered my mother's warning, don't do anything unnecessary. So I turned and left, crossing out the original school name on the transfer application. Instead, I wrote down the overseas high school my parents had always wanted me to attend. Lena seemed to forget we belonged to two different worlds from the start. I thought this was just a friend's betrayal, but it was her who crossed the line. Days ago, she dragged me to a bar to celebrate her so-called freedom. Under the dim, suggestive lights, she leaned in and kissed me passionately. I lost control and demanded, Lena, what are we now? She whispered in my ear, silly, what else could we be but lovers? In that moment, I thought I'd won the world. Who could have guessed that kiss was her breakup gift to drive me away for her new lover? But Lena seemed to forget. She was nothing but an illegitimate daughter unfit for the spotlight. And I was the sole supreme heir to the Chase family. If she thought I wasn't worthy, then we'd sever ties completely. I stared at the tear-stained application form and tossed it straight into the shredder. Then, I dialed my mother. Mom, I agreed to go abroad. I am leaving now. Just then, the door slammed open. Opening the door, I found Lena standing there with that phony Michael. The moment Michael saw me, he scurried behind Lena like a startled rabbit. Lena instantly looked heartbroken and snapped at me. Harry, that look of yours is scaring Michael. Even more green tea, like, Michael added with feigned hurt. Sorry, Harry, I know you look down on me, but I promise I won't dirty your couch. This tea-scented speech made Lena's gaze toward me instantly turn to that of looking at a bully. Her face filled with disappointment. Harry, this really breaks my heart. Then she even issued a threat. Reflect on your actions properly, or I won't sign your transfer form. I snorted coldly. The moment those two jerks left, I immediately reset the door code. People like them are an insult just to have them in my sight. Early the next morning, I arrived at school alone. On that overseas application form, I pressed down hard with the bright red seal. That single stamp signified the complete end of my 14-year relationship with her. But Lena, like a persistent ghost, crept up behind me, frowning. She complained, Harry, why did you change the code? You locked me out yesterday. When I didn't respond, she adopted a patronizing tone. Spotting the form in my hand, she assumed I was still waiting for her. Her voice turned cheerful as she promised, don't worry, I'll get my stamp tomorrow too.